On Tuesday, April 18th, Ghost Galaxy dropped some more KeyForge news, and this time, most of the juicy details came in the newly updated version of the Master Rulebook. The newly edited version surprisingly provides some exciting details on future mechanics that are to be used in upcoming sets. From important rules changes to additional cards on the Alliance restricted list, there's a lot to cover. So without further ado, let's get into it. First off, we have a brand new bonus icon, one that will presumably be added in the next set, Grim Reminders, the discard bonus icon. It appears to be a purple card with a minus sign next to it, and its entry in the rulebook reads, choose one card in your hand and discard it. The card you choose may belong to any house. So when you play a card with the discard icon, you can apparently discard any card you want from your hand, acting as a neat form of efficiency. My good friend Yurk has been reduced to a simple bonus icon. However, a new mechanic has been introduced in the glossary that has quite a sizable impact on ways the new discard icons can be utilized, the scrap mechanic. Its entry reads, after a card with a scrap ability is discarded from a player's hand, the active player resolves the card's scrap ability. Scrap abilities can resolve in the discard pile. If multiple cards with scrap abilities are discarded simultaneously, they are resolved one at a time in the order of the active player's choosing. If an ability discards a card from a zone other than a player's hand, the scrap abilities on the card do not resolve. This mechanic creates huge synergy with discard bonus icons, allowing you to discard cards with the scrap ability no matter which house you've called, and gain the benefits of those scrap abilities. It sounds like such a cool way to expand upon the concepts of hand conditioning and the importance of the discard pile, in addition to increasing deck efficiency, all while utilizing a brand new mechanic and bonus icon. It also fits in perfectly with the flavor and theme of Grim Reminders, the set after Winds of Exchange that these new mechanics will probably show up in. Speaking of Grim Reminders, it was teased in a recent Ghost Galaxy video what the new house that'll be introduced in Grim Reminders will be called, House Geistoid, a seeming amalgamation of robots and ghosts, further confirmed by this artwork that was leaked online some time ago, and this page that summarizes their characteristics. This most recent rulebook update revealed the house icon for Geistoid, a shadowy figure with glowing yellow eyes cloaked in a purple hood. In addition to the artwork I just mentioned, many people theorize that the Grim Reaper, an anomaly from Worlds Collide, will also be a part of this faction. I'm sure they'll utilize the scrap mechanic to its fullest, so I'm definitely excited to see what they have in store and more of what they look like. The rulebook update also revealed a couple new keywords that tidy up some card effects that we've already seen before, the first of which is Treachery. Cards with Treachery enter play under the opponent's control, and we've seen this with cards like Scowly Caper and Trojan Sauropod. Now, the Treachery keyword can just replace the block of text explaining that the card enters play under the opponent's control, making things much neater overall. We also see the introduction of Versatile. Cards with the Versatile keyword can be used as if they belong to the active house. So now, cards like Mac the Knife can be simplified, terminology-wise, by utilizing Versatile. And I would assume the same goes for artifacts, so does this mean that Omni abilities are all but a thing of the past? Next, a couple Winds of Exchange cards had their text edited to make them more consistent with how token creatures function, the two cards in question being Space Invaders and Offering to Kilogog. Space Invaders and Offering to Kilogog both originally had players put token creatures into play when they're technically supposed to be made, so that's what the update reflects in the text edit. Really just a small terminology thing, but makes things consistent overall throughout the rules and card pool, which is always great to see. Another thing that was updated was the official Alliance restricted list. Now the changes that were made are important enough that I'm going to be making a separate video with my thoughts on them, but the short of it is, Lateral Shift and Library Card have both been removed, while Control the Weak, Scrambler Storm, and Stealth Mode have been added. So you can have multiple copies of Control the Weak in your deck, but no other card on the list can show up in that same deck. So pods with both Control the Weak and Restringuntus are off the table. Same with pods that include both Time Traveler and Scrambler Storm, or even Library Access and Scrambler Storm, a common and an uncommon. These additions to the restricted list have been pretty controversial to the community so far, so like I said, I'll be covering it more in depth in a later video. A few organized play rules were also addressed in this update. In the Archon format, deck lists are now open information at all times. Players must allow their opponent time to review their deck list prior to the start of the match, and at any time during the match if requested. The same applies in Alliance. Over in Sealed Archon, deck lists are now kept hidden from the opposing players during a match. Thank goodness, it's truly sealed again. But these are some important changes for tournament play that I'm interested to hear your thoughts on. And lastly, there were just a number of smaller updates made to the rulebook for better clarification and to make it as clear and comprehensive as possible. If you want to check these out for yourself, I'll leave a link to the rulebook and the article in the description below. But in short, the FAQ and glossary received lots of new edits and entries, Omega as a mechanic has been especially renovated in terms of rules clarity, and for you judges and TOs out there, the tournament rules and guidelines have been updated as well. But that's all for today. Overall, I'm quite happy with these updates and how clear things have been made. For me, it shows that Ghost Galaxy is serious about bringing OP back and making it as smooth as possible. I'm also super hyped for Grim Reminders and getting to experience the Geistoids and the scrap mechanic for the first time. The only thing I can't say I'm that stoked about is the change to the Alliance restricted list, but again, we'll save that for another time. Let me know what you guys think of all this in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you all again in the next one. See you later.